Sand, it gets everywhere. In your shoes, in your swimsuit, and sometimes even in your mummies. Okay, maybe not in mummies, but you get the point. Turns out sand isn't just a beach bum's best friend, it's also a surprisingly good preserver of the dearly departed. We're talking about sand mummies, not the wrapped in linen kind, but bodies naturally preserved by the dry, grainy embrace of sand. Imagine being buried in a giant litter box for centuries. Not exactly glamorous, but hey, at least you come out the other side looking, well, preserved. So, how does this sandy magic trick work? Let's dig in, shall we? The secret ingredient in sand's mummification recipe is dryness. Sand, especially in deserts, is like a sponge for moisture. It sucks the water out of anything it touches, including, unfortunately for them, any bacteria or fungi that might be thinking about setting up shop in a deceased human. Think of it like this: you leave a piece of bread out on the counter, it gets moldy. You bury that same piece of bread in a bucket of sand, it dries out like a cracker. Same principle, slightly less appetizing example. Without moisture, those decomposition-loving microbes can't survive. No microbes, no decay. It's like putting time on pause for a corpse. And voila, you've got yourself a sand mummy. Don't just take my word for it. Let the sands of time tell their own story. The proof is in the pudding, or rather in the sand. Each grain holds a piece of history, a fragment of a tale long forgotten. The Atacama Desert in Chile and the Tarim Basin in China are like Mother Nature's sand mummy museums, preserving the past in the most extraordinary way. In the Atacama, the driest non-polar desert on Earth, archaeologists have uncovered remarkably well-preserved mummies dating back thousands of years. These ancient remains offer a window into a world long gone. These folks are so well-preserved, they look like they just stepped out of a tanning bed, a very, very long tanning bed session. Their skin, hair, and even clothing remain intact, defying the ravages of time. Then there are the Tarim mummies, found in Western China, sporting stylish felt hats and sporting some seriously impressive beards even after centuries underground. Their attire and accessories tell stories of ancient cultures and traditions. These fashionable fellows are a testament to sand's long-lasting preservation power. The arid conditions have kept their secrets safe for millennia. Talk about a timeless look. These mummies are a remarkable reminder of how the sands of time can preserve history in the most unexpected ways. Section 4. The recipe for a sand mummy, more than just sand. Now, before you go burying your prized Beanie Baby collection in the sandbox hoping to preserve them for eternity, there's a bit more to it than just sand. It's not as simple as just digging a hole and covering your treasures. Creating a sand mummy is like baking a cake. You need the right ingredients in the right proportions. Just like you wouldn't bake a cake without flour, sugar, and eggs, you can't create a sand mummy without the perfect mix. First, you need the right kind of sand. Not all sand is created equal. The finer and drier, the better. Think fine, dry, and preferably located in a place that makes Death Valley look like a water park. The more arid the environment, the better the preservation. Then, a good dose of dryness, low humidity is key. The drier the air, the less chance of decay. Finally, a sprinkle of luck. Not too much wind, not too many curious critters. You get the idea. The environment needs to be just right to keep everything intact. Get all these conditions just right, and you've got a recipe for preservation that even the ancient Egyptians would envy. They mastered the art of mummification, but with the right sand and conditions, you can achieve something quite similar. Section 5. The quirks of preservation: shrinking heads and missing toes. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Sand might be a great preserver, but it's not exactly the gentlest method. Remember that whole sucking the moisture out thing? Well, that process can have some, shall we say, interesting side effects. Sometimes the skin shrinks, giving the mummy a slightly more, compact appearance. Other times, soft tissues like hair and nails might disappear, leaving behind a slightly skeletal look. And don't even get me started on what happens to internal organs. Let's just say it's not pretty. But hey, who needs internal organs when you've got eternal preservation, right? Section 6. Sand, nature's time capsule. So there you have it, the strange and wonderful world of sand mummies. These natural wonders are not just relics of the past, but also a window into the lives and cultures of ancient civilizations. It's a testament to nature's ability to surprise, amaze, and occasionally gross us out. The desert, with its harsh conditions, can preserve things in ways we never imagined. Who knew that something as common as sand could hold the key to preserving the past? Each grain of sand has a story to tell, a history to reveal, and a mystery to uncover. Next time you're at the beach building a sandcastle or burying your friend up to the neck, Take a moment to appreciate the quiet power of those tiny grains. They are not just playthings, but silent witnesses to the passage of time. They might just be holding on to secrets that are centuries old. Imagine the stories they could tell if only they could speak. And if you happen to find a shrunken head while you're digging around, well, maybe just cover it back up and pretend you didn't see anything. Some discoveries are best left to the professionals. Some things are better left buried. The desert keeps its secrets well, and sometimes it's best to let them remain hidden.